Once said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Good evening, everyone. I, Snehi Agrawal, am going to be your host for this session. On behalf of Setu team, an entire Little Scholars fraternity, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all dignified schools participating, respected teachers, and fellow friends. Also, would like to welcome our dynamic co-founder, Owner Bhalla ma'am, the founder of Setu, Pankaj Bhalla sir, Rohit Bhalla sir, and our mentor, Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Shikha Gautam. Little Scholars Social Service Group Setu is thriving constantly since 2015 till date. In the last workshop, we discussed about life cycle of food, how climate plays an important role, in growing of a seed. We also acquired knowledge about God's own garden, that's Molinong, situated in Meghalaya, remarkable for its cleanliness, as well as about zero waste Japan, started in small town named Kamikaze. We have also learned about the very interesting 2009 documentary Home, raising awareness for how humanity is threatening the world's ecological balance. Moving forward, I would like to welcome you all to the second workshop where classes 6 to 8, henceforth our group B, will be engaging in a common goal, healthy in, healthy out. Today, in this session, we'll be learning about preserving nutrition and the concept of sun cooked food. Not taking much time of yours, handing over this session to our illustrious panelists. All yours, Nidhi ma'am and Pankaj sir.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Good to see you all. I would really love that if all of you can show me your faces today. It gives me more excitement when we interact, looking at all of you. Yes, that's lovely. Thank you so much. So how are you all doing? How are you all doing? How was the assignment, the activity that we gave you?
I also want to see smiles on everyone's face.
So are you all excited to learn something new today? Great.
So we would like to hear if anyone would like to share something.
Yeah, you can unmute, like we can have 1 or 2 minutes. You can unmute and talk. Please do that. Anything you would like to share about your activity and assignment? Okay, I see Team Anjeer. So one of the students is sharing something about apple, germination, right? Sprouting. Yes, seedling. And the tree coming up. The flower of the tree. So can you please share your name by unmuting yourself, Team Anjeer? Can he be allowed to unmute? Yeah.
Arush.
Your name is what? What is your name?
Ma'am, Arush Sharma.
Arush, yes. I think you've done a great job. So,
Thank you, ma'am.
Anything you would like to ask Arush about the activity that was given to you?
No, ma'am, it was really fun researching about it.
All right. So, which was the fruit or vegetable you decided to take on?
What?
कौन सा fruit या vegetable आपने decide किया था? Apple?
No, yes, ma'am, apple.
All
Ma'am,
right.
I have also made the post production.
All right. All right. Farming. So you can, yeah, your camera, you can hold it a little higher. Grading, okay. Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Very good. Colorful way to share about the cycle. And I could also see, I think Team Khumani they have also done a presentation. And just to share with all of you, a link will be shared, an email ID will be shared with all of you.
By Team Setu.
Right, by Team Setu, and all of you will be sending your presentation, whether they are in chart form or paper or a digital presentation. You will submit on that particular email ID. So with that note, I think we can start with today's session. So for today's session, I would request Nidhi ma'am to go ahead and let's start with the presentation.
Yeah, so I need to present. Can you just help me with the presentation? Yeah. ये close करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. Wait, I will share. Let me. Just a second. Give me just a second. So ये presentation मोड पे रहेगा. एक मिनट देखना.
You share screen?
No, I haven't yet.
You have to share screen, and it will be obviously.
ठीक है. Right. This one.
No, share screen.
Okay.
And
yeah. I hope everyone can see my screen. You can tell me about it from there. Is my screen?
no, it's just next.
अच्छा, ठीक है. So just a second. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about how to keep the nutrition of the food alive, not kill it, and we are going to learn about a little about how to what is sun cooked, right? So I would like to start with the story of my own life. So when I was a kid, as I was growing up, I was somehow drawn towards one of our favorite and 2-minute foods that we all know about is Maggie. So I used to consume that a lot. वो मेरा favorite होता था. So I used to almost have Maggie every single day of my life. And what resulted as I became a teenager, I started noticing problems in my health. And as I grew further, I realized, a lot of diseases like diabetes and, thyroid had started affecting me, and I started putting on a lot of weight. And it also started impacting my studies, my work, my everyday work, was affected by it. And it was only very recently when I had a daughter of my own, I realized that my body was giving up on normal tasks of every day. I used to drag my body to do things. And so during the lockdown, like all of us had a lot of time, I started researching about health because I hate eating medicines. I do not like eating medicines and popping pills for anything and everything. So when I started researching, I realized that food can heal our body. It's a very natural way. So when I researched on it and started applying that in my life, I saw within a number of 15 to 20 days, I started seeing tremendous changes from feeling very, very active to feeling very, very happy, to energetic, to being in a very positive frame of mind. And I would like Pankaj sir also to share his experience now.
So I think as a child, I think this is quite relevant. I was into sports, so not exactly football, but cricket. I played a lot of cricket, and I was really good at sports. it was, I was fit. Mostly the diet was home cooked food. And yes, I think we did have, I like chocolates a lot. So I ate a lot of chocolates in my school. And apart from that, yeah, other fast foods were not that interesting. Early 30s, when I crossed my age 30, then I started gaining weight. And the reason was that the more I was active during my 20s and my college and school, now I was not that active physically, right? And it was only, I think, through the transformation that happened through. So I've always been a vegetarian, and the only transformation that happened was through sattvic diet. Through this particular diet, I was able to work on healthy cholesterol, which means that I had, balanced cholesterol. And I also rapidly lost weight, which was excess fat. And again, when I started playing sports, I was more active, right? So the entire transformation did not happen through medicine, did not happen through any operation. It just happened through food, sattvic food. So with that note, we are going to start today's session. And over to Nidhi ma'am.
Yeah. So before we get into the presentation, I would like to ask all of you, please answer on the messages or wherever. What is your favorite food? I would say fast food. What is it that you really, really love and you can like once a week, twice a week, thrice a week, or maybe 7 days a week, you would like to eat it? It could be anything that is processed.
Wow. So pizza is, a lot of,
Favorite.
yes, a lot of students have shared pizza. We also have some more.
So I am saying fast food. It doesn't have to be rajma and rice. It can't be home cooked food. Home cooked food is never fast food.
We have burger, momos,
Yeah.
pani puri, chocolate. I think the second after pizza we have momos.
Yes. Great, great.
And the
Right.
third is ice cream.
So are you all aware of the ingredients that go into making of all these items that you're mentioning? Are you aware? Are you aware of what goes into making an ice cream? What goes into making a pizza? What goes into making momos, right? You're aware?
Do share. Do share about the ingredients if you are aware of it.
Yeah. So you can maybe whatever you're mentioning, it can be a part of your activity today. So you can mention whatever fast food you love. You can write down the name of it before beginning the activity or sending us the activity. So this is the fast food that you love and the awareness of its ingredients, what goes into it, right?
So Team Nashpati, they have shared about pizza dough, pizza pasta sauce, mozzarella cheese, and toppings.
Yeah. So let's move further in the presentation from here onwards. So it was lovely to see your answers here. So when we talk about fast food, we all hear our parents telling us that you're going to fall sick if you eat this every day. You can't eat chocolates. Your teeth are going to go bad, right? They're going to decay. And no more sweets, no more chocolates, or the cold drink for that matter. So whatever we are consuming, especially the fast food, so our parents tell us that, we hear our parents or grandparents telling us that you're going to fall sick, you can't eat this so much, or bahar ka khana nahi khana, ghar ka khana khana hai, So here, what is the meaning of a disease here? So I'll read it aloud for all of you. According to Ayurveda, a disease is a state of body and mind that gives pain and discomfort to us. Do we all agree? Do we all agree when we are in pain and discomfort, that is being unwell, right?
I do remember one of these cases. So my father used to get these stories, amazing stories from mostly on monsoons.
हाँ, वो बंद कर दो बुकलियाँ बंद कर दो
to these kachoris. But whenever I ate these kachoris, I could feel something uncomfortable in my stomach, though I didn't know what it is. And later I realized that it is because of the acidity, the acid that is created through fried food.
Yeah. So moving on, how are diseases classified? You know, what all kind of diseases do we have? So if I talk of Ayurveda, Ayurveda is an ancient science of medicine of our country, which classifies diseases according to its origin. Origin means कहाँ पे वो disease है हमारी physical body में. So either it is physical, psychological, or spiritual. So diseases are also categorized based on the site of the organs. वो कहाँ पाए जाते हैं? वो हमारे lungs में है, हमारे heart में है, हमारे thyroid gland में है. वो कहाँ पे हैं? ठीक है? So based on that, diseases are classified, right? So also, if we understand, have you ever heard of something like Vata, Pitta and Kapha? हमारे आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन में ये कहा जाता है कि हमारी बॉडी की जो डिजीजेस हैं वो हमारी बॉडी की प्रकृति पे डिपेंड करते हैं कि हमें किस तरह के डिजीजेस होते हैं. सो अकॉर्डिंगली आई हैव मेंशन्ड इन द स्लाइड हियर व्हिच वी डू नॉट नीड टू डेल्व टू मच इनटू, जस्ट एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ इट. सो one thing we need to understand here, that food gives a signal to the body. So हमें खाना क्यों खाना होता है? हमें खाना इसलिए खाना होता है because we need to nourish our body, right? We are growing, we need to gain height, we need certain nutrients, certain certain food to fulfill that, so that we are growing, so that our brain is developing, our body functions strongly, and we are physically active, right? So but when we are giving a wrong signal to the body, that is when diseases start occurring. जब हम बहुत ज़्यादा फैटी खाना, बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोसेस्ड खाना अपनी बॉडी को देते हैं, जब उसको न्यूट्रिशन की ज़रूरत है, उस टाइम पे हमारी बॉडी को रॉन्ग सिग्नल जा रहा है. सो दिस इज नॉट द राइट इंफॉर्मेशन दैट वी आर फीडिंग टू द बॉडी, बिकॉज आवर बॉडी इज वेरी इंटेलिजेंट. Our body knows how to break down the food and how to utilize it for all the body functions. For example, we are having milk. How is it going to break it down? If we are having a chapati and sabzi, how is it going to break it down? आप उस वक्त ये नहीं सोचते हो कि मैं वीट खा रहा हूँ और वीट से मुझे ये मैग्नीशियम, ये कैल्शियम, ये चीजें मिल रही हैं. That is not what you tell your brain. That is for your body to decide, right? But when we are eating fast food, which is probably processed, right, which is not good for our health, so our body misinterprets the signals, right? Something goes wrong there, right? So here, according to Ayurveda, जब हम अपनी body को सात्विक mode में रखते हैं, सात्विक, there are 3 kinds of modes for the body: सात्विक, तामसिक and राजसिक. So सात्विक में जब हम अपनी body को बहुत healthy खाना दे रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा खाना दे रहे हैं और सही सिग्नल्स दे रहे हैं, तो हमारी बॉडी ये सारी मोड्स जो है वो एग्जिबिट करती है. जैसे इट विल बी हैप्पी, इट विल हैव कंपैशन फॉर अदर्स, इट विल बी हैविंग अ लॉट ऑफ लव, इट विल हैव अ लॉट ऑफ सेल्फ कंट्रोल, सैटिस्फैक्शन. देयर विल बी नो fear in the mind and the body, right? If we are feeding our body with that kind of food. But if we are feeding our body with a rajasic kind of food, which I'm going to come to later, तो हमारी बॉडी में, हमारे माइंड में ये सारी फीलिंग्स रहती हैं, लाइक ईगो, रेस्टलेसनेस, एंगर, एंजाइटी, फियर, डिस्ट्रेस, है ना? एंड व्हेन वी आर फीडिंग आवर बॉडी विद तामसिक फूड, right, which is dead food. I remember talking about dead food in the last session. So we all remember what is dead food? Can everybody type in the chat box what is dead food? One word quickly. So when we are eating dead food, that is processed food, that is fast food, then all these things start manifesting in our life. हम बहुत lethargic हो जाते हैं, हम बहुत tired हो जाते हैं, हम we feel very sad, we may not be feeling very excited all the time, right? So coming to the next slide. So what exactly does Gita tell us? So it says, foods dear to those in the mode of goodness So we are talking about the living food here. Okay, please hear carefully. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life because they are living foods. Purify one's existence and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart, right? So such foods are they always make you happy. They'll always make you feel energetic, right? So this is what is a simple table of Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic.
I would like to share very important. We all have gone through pandemic,
Yeah.
and it was during that time that because of the sattvic foods cooked at home, sun cooked at home, our immunity was so strong. Then when we were suffering from COVID, so I recovered in half day's time. So I only took rest for half day. Mostly the average time to recover from sattvic was, as per
COVID.
from COVID was as per your, immunity and as per your strength. So I was amazed to see that how quickly I recovered and without any medicine, because food was the medicine. So I think that's where food actually works as a medicine, and it's definitely the most happy you feel, inherently happy and healthy is what you eat.
Yeah. So moving forward, so anybody having any question can please raise your hand or unmute and
Or
talk
type.
to us, or
Yeah.
type in the chat box there and then, right? So we are going to take note of the questions, and also even after the session, you have any doubts or questions, please send us the list of questions, maybe team wise, you can send it, right? So all the teachers may be responsible for the groups can take down the questions and ask us. So I will be talking about the 4 food principles here now, right? So Team Anjeer has a question. Please write it down and give it to your respective teacher.
Or
So we are
write in
going
the
to,
chat.
or in the chat, we are going to address the questions, however many we can. So now it's very important to pay attention, all the students. So we have 4 food principles, okay, based on which we can convert our present food consuming system or diet system into a very healthy diet system, and we can get rid of whatever situations we may be into, right? So I want to ask everybody before starting this, how many of you feel uncomfortable or are going through a health problem, or face certain issues time and again? There would be children who would maybe catching cold very, very soon. Every now and then they may be catching soon, or in changing weather, they may be catching cold, or they may feel very lethargic and tired. I remember when I was in school, I would always feel very tired and I would feel pain in my legs and not feel like doing physical activity, because I realized that my hemoglobin is very low and I used to have headaches. So that resulted in not being active physically in maybe playing games in the school, etc. Right?
That reminds me that even being very active in school, and I used to eat everything cooked at home, right? Still, I would have 2 to 3 times I'll fell sick because of the changing weather, cold. And it's only, I think, recently, though as I shared, I'm always been a vegetarian. Only recently, when I changed to Sattvic, actually that seasonal change would not affect my immunity.
Yeah. So I would want everybody to answer here, maybe in the messages, that what all kind of problems do you face quickly in a minute? Yeah.
They have written about catching cold,
Cold, yeah.
during change of weather,
Right.
changing weather,
Right. Changing weather. Season changes. Right.
right,
Migraine.
migraine,
Oh, tired after school. Yes.
right.
I totally can agree and understand that. Yes. Viral. Yes. So, yeah.
Headaches, changing weather,
Legs hurt, feeling legs,
eye flu.
hands, eye flu. Right. So all of these things boil down to only one thing: how strong you are, how strong is your immunity. एंड हमने कभी बचपन में सुना है कि हमारी सारी बीमारियां, बचपन, आपका तो बचपन ही है अभी, कि सारी बीमारियां पेट से शुरू होती हैं? हैव यू हर्ड दैट, योर पेरेंट्स और ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स टेलिंग यू दैट? Have you heard that? Yes. तो उसका कारण क्या है? बेसिकली हमारी जो पूरी बॉडी है उसका कनेक्शन, पूरी बॉडी को फंक्शन करने का जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है वो हमारे पेट के पास है, क्योंकि हम जो भी बॉडी को चलाने के लिए डालते हैं वो हम खाते हैं और वो हमारे पेट में जाता है, पेट से हमारे इंटेस्टाइन्स में जाता है, इंटेस्टाइन्स उसको ब्रेक डाउन करके, पेट में पहले ब्रेक डाउन होता है, फिर फर्दर इंटेस्टाइन्स में ब्रेक डाउन होता है, एंड देन इट इज मे बी सेंट इनटू आवर ब्लड. सो ब्लड इज ट्रैवलिंग थ्रू द एंटायर बॉडी, है ना, पूरी बॉडी में ब्लड ट्रैवल कर रहा है. तो उससे क्या हो रहा है कि अगर ब्रेन को फंक्शन करने के लिए एक सर्टन चीज चाहिए तो ब्लड इज टेकिंग इट देयर, मसल्स को रन करने के लिए कुछ चाहिए तो ब्लड इज टेकिंग इट देयर. सो व्हेन माय इंटेस्टाइन्स are clogged or blocked because of the wrong food, है ना, जैसे हम बहुत ज्यादा रिफाइंड फ्लावर खाते हैं जो मोमोज में होता है या जो पिज्जा के बेस में होता है या मे बी किसी भी चीज की वजह से, या ऑयली फूड होता है, तो वो सारी चीजें हमारे इंटेस्टाइन्स में दे स्टिक टू आवर इंटेस्टाइन्स, एंड दैट टॉक्सिन दैट इज रिलीज्ड आफ्टर बीइंग स्टक इन द इंटेस्टाइन इज रिलीज्ड इन आवर ब्लड. तो वो हमारी बॉडी को स्लो डाउन कर देता है, हमारे मेटाबॉलिज्म को स्लो डाउन कर देता है, जिसकी वजह से हमें टाइम एंड अगेन कोल्ड होता है, जरा सा वेदर चेंज हुआ वी स्टार्ट स्नीजिंग, यू नो. So I would like to share with you, my daughter is only 6.5 years old, and during the lockdown she was even smaller, she was 3.5, 4 years old. So in that entire time she did not catch cold even once. Like Pankaj sir was sharing, he is very immune to very commonly he gets cold easily. She did not catch cold, so this was an amazing thing for us to realize that यार एक बच्चे को, सबसे ज्यादा बच्चे क्या करते हैं, बिना सॉक्स पहने, बिना शूज पहने, नंगे पैर भागते हैं इवन इन विंटर्स. So she did not catch cold even despite all that happening to her, right? So this was a bell for us, a bell ringing to us that yes, it is working, the kind of food that we are eating is working for us. So from here I would like to take you to the 4 food principles that you must understand very carefully, because further the competition and the activities that you are going to do are going to be based on this. So this is very important. You all can make a note of this. So the first food principle I have already discussed in the last session is that we must focus on living food. लिविंग फूड कौन सा होता है, कौन मुझे बताएगा, पिछले सेशन में डिस्कस किया था. लिविंग फूड कौन सा होता है, जल्दी से 2 or 3 आंसर्स विल बी इनफ. Okay, yes. Okay, so I would like to tell you the food, living food is the one which when put in the soil can grow out to be another plant. You remember that I told you that कि अगर हम एक टमाटर को स्लाइस करके मिट्टी में डालेंगे तो उसमें से टमाटर का प्लांट आ जाएगा. अगर हम एक राजमा को लेके अगर हम सॉइल में सो करते हैं तो उसका एक प्लांट उग जाएगा. सो दैट्स अ लिविंग फूड. कैन यू सी ऑल द फूड इन द पिक्चर हियर, दे ऑल लिविंग, दे नॉट डेड. ठीक है. सो फर्स्ट फूड प्रिंसिपल इज लिविंग फूड, एंड लिविंग फूड मीन्स our food should come straight from the farm to our kitchen, not go to the factory in between. Nothing processed, tinned or packaged, bottled or canned is living food. Imagine करो, लास्ट टाइम भी आपको एक एग्जांपल दिया था. अब वीट है, वीट को हम पीस के आटा बनाते हैं. अगर वीट की नूडल्स हैं, ठीक है, वीट के नूडल्स हैं, उनको अगर मैं सॉइल में सो करूंगी, कैन आई गेट प्लांट्स फ्रॉम दैट? No. Can I get plants? Can the wheat noodles grow into a plant? No. But can a wheat seed or a full grain of wheat grow? Yes, it can now. So that is a living food. Okay? So now you need to think what all is living. Chips living होते हैं क्या आलू living होता है? आलू के chips. Think when you're eating food. Ask yourself, are you eating living food or dead food? So, do you believe living food is going to give you more life or dead food is going to give you more life?
So
Think about it.
Someone has written noodle tree.
Noodle tree? That will be amazing if we have noodle trees. So I'll move forward from here. The second food law. Before moving on to the second, living food का opposite क्या होता है? Dead food.
I think the best thing I like, because in Sattvic, even one, it's delicious. And second, there are kind of a version of noodles, which is Sattvic.
We'll share that with you. So this is the dead food. Do we all agree? All this is dead. This is not going to grow into a plant or a tree or give us fruits. Do we agree? I'll move further. The second food law is eating wholesome. So now what is wholesome? Our food should be unprocessed and unrefined. So did Mother Nature give us oil or coconut? Mustard seeds or oil? What did Mother Nature give us?
So you can write in the chat, everyone. So did we get oil?
Or did
from
we
Mother
get
Earth
seeds?
or seeds?
Did we get sugar or sugarcane? Sugar or sugarcane? Right.
So we get.
So simply,
someone has written olive oil. So do we get olive oil directly or something else?
we
Or
get
olives?
yeah. So we get olives from the nature. So nature is very smart. Nature is very intelligent. Our bodies are intelligent. But humans have kind of twisted it, turned it, and kind of made it slow, है ना? And we've started getting so many diseases. So wholesome का opposite क्या होता है? Wholesome का opposite होता है fragmented, टूटा हुआ. So what is fragmented? Our bodies are designed in rhythm with the food that is being provided by nature. For example, coconut has so much of fiber when you chew it. It also has oil in it. It also has healthy fatty acids in it, fat in it. So when you eat a lot of nuts like badam, akhrot, etc., it has a lot of natural essential oils. But what happens? People take out almond oil from it, है ना? Coconut oil from it. So our body is not able to digest it in a healthy way. So sugarcane से क्या बनता है? The best possible version of sugarcane is not sugar. It is jaggery. Although it is slightly processed, but it is not as processed and refined as white sugar, right? So in the same way, rice के अंदर एक फाइबर कंटेंट होता है जो हमें ब्राउन राइस में मिलता है, पर जब हम उसको निकाल देते हैं तो white rice becomes processed. In the same way, wheat. We all, our parents, they order atta at home. And where do we get that atta from depends. So if we are getting it from a local chakki, you will see the atta is going to be आप घर में अपने मम्मी से पूछना कि घर में आटा कहाँ से आता है. So you will realize either वो जैसे आशीर्वाद का आटा है, पैकेज्ड आटा है, तो उसमें से उन्होंने जो आटे का फाइबर है वो निकाल दिया. जो आटे के सीड्स को जब हम पाउडर बनाते हैं जिसकी वजह से आटा बनता है, when we kind of what you grind them, है ना? So that fiber is very important and essential
Choker.
for
Right.
digestion.
Yes, choker is written, very good.
Yeah. So that fiber is very essential. The fiber available in the brown rice is very essential for our digestion. But what have we done? We have kind of minused it from our diet. And that is how we are, getting so many diseases, because our intestines need a lot of fiber to digest properly, right? So wholesome and fragmented needs to be understood very clearly.
So how things have changed, that are I think most of the GDP, the economy was coming from agriculture.
Yeah.
Right? And like I come from farmers family, right? So not my father, but my grandfather and great grandfather, they had their farmlands and they were actually, planting everything and eating what they used to produce. And they were the healthiest. If I look at my father, and my, previous generations, they're very healthy. The reason was that there was love to plant something, and it was done with an emotion to prosper.
So moving on, this was the second point of the free food principles, wholesome. Now moving on, we'll be going to the another point, which is plant-based. So जब हम environment की बात करते हैं, तो जब हम एक animal-based product consume कर रहे हैं, तो उस animal को raise करने के लिए, उसको पालने के लिए, हमें जितने रिसोर्सेज लगाने पड़ते हैं उतने रिसोर्सेज हमें वेजिटेबल्स उगाने में नहीं लगाने पड़ते या प्लांट्स उगाने में नहीं लगाने पड़ते. So it is like double or 4 times. Can you see the table here? How much of space and energy consumption is required to grow animal-based food, and how much people are getting fed based on plant-based food in comparison, if you see, है ना? उतना पानी हम देंगे, उतना हम उनके लिए जो भी अनाज उगाते हैं, we are feeding the animals so that they become healthy and then we are able to eat them, right? So it is, if everyone would eat plant-based diet, the world is going to be completely different. If we see here, okay? So 2 football fields feed 1 person per year, and 2 football fields of plants feed 14 people per year. What is the difference? A lot of difference, है ना? So from there, we need to move to the next.
So just going back, I think what we understand from this is actually that how everyone can be fed. Right? Today we waste, like yesterday, day before yesterday, when we had the first presentation, we came to know that a lot of food is wasted, right? So here we're looking at how everyone can be fed, because we are able to produce within the same field, we are able to produce more and provide more.
Provide more, yeah. So yeah, the next point, the 4th point of the food principles is water-rich food. So what is happening here? You know, through understanding these food principles, we are also understanding if we are not consuming processed food, we are consuming, or we are, not just making our own bodies healthy, but also not producing so much of waste.
So I do have a question for everyone, that why do we need water-rich food?
Yeah, good question.
Please answer in the chat. Why do you think we need water-rich food?
Good answer, for maintaining the temperature of the body and avoid digestion. Oh yes, 70% of our body is water. Yes, perfectly mentioned here. So all of you are super knowledgeable, intelligent, amazing, great to hear. Yes, I think all of you have answered this, that we need water-based food, water-rich food, because our body is 70% water, just like our planet. Our planet is also 70% water, right? Our bodies are also 70% water. So what do we need to do? We need to cut down on water poor foods. So any examples of water poor foods can anyone give me? Water poor foods? Water poor, not water rich. Water poor food, okay? Be specific about the foods. For example,
one is pizza, which is why.
Yeah, so if I talk about, banana is definitely a water, not water poor, but it is having very little content of water.
Veg, burger.
So to make it very simple for all of you, anything that we put into a juicer and there's no water that comes out is water poor food. For example, our grains, dals, and all the grains like rice, that is water poor, but it's not bad for health, yet it has to be consumed in moderation, okay, based on the physical activity. So water rich food से क्या होता है? आपने सब बता दिया. I don't need to tell you about water rich food, right? So you are aware. Why is it important to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables? Now we'll talk about this further. So here it's very important to know that we are not talking of change only.
I think I'll give one example.
Yeah.
The time it happened for me, one, because it was pandemic, I was very busy traveling, and I'm a professor, designer, so teaching, so traveling, and I think I happily adapted to sattvic food, right? But I did see, in some of the family members, I did see some reluctance of extended family. So I think that's where not having awareness really affects one's health, not accepting new change. So I think you may share the next.
Yeah, so the
Right.
next slide says that we are not talking of change only. We are talking of transformation. So, you know, when we see all of you, when we meet all of you, we expect this kind of an energy. And I'm sure you expect this energy from your teachers or from the, you know, your educators as well, because, you know, you get attracted to people who are energized, who are excited, who are happy always, right? So when we talk about replacements for living a disease-free life, this is what it is. So I do not want to judge anybody, but I want to ask how many of you consume tea and coffee?
Milk. So who all consume milk?
Great, so you do. So we know that tea and coffee is a very intrinsic part of our culture, है ना? चाय पीना normal चीज है. शाम को मम्मी पापा पी रहे हैं तो चाय और बिस्किट खाना या चाय के साथ नमकीन पीना बहुत normal चीज है. But actually having tea or coffee is like,
I just want to add, and then Nidhi ma'am, we continue. I just want to know who all have milk and they really love milk, right? And me coming from vegetarian family, so milk and paneer and every product coming out of milk was very important, right? And there's a famous saying, in North India and especially in Punjab, that that lassi and milk, curd, paneer is very important for growth, right? So our mothers say that तो माड़ा हो गया, in Punjabi, which means कि बिल्कुल ही पतला हो गया, right? So we do have these connotations if we are not eating like really rich food. So milk and every product is considered to be rich in proteins. So why I'm sharing this is that it used to be very healthy because our families had their own cows. We had one cow in every family when everyone was farming, and now it's not the case. So after industrialization, what has happened? Big businesses have started producing milk. It's no more that you're getting milk right straight directly from the cow in your house, which you are taking care of. You're giving a good treatment to the cow. Over to you, Nidhi.
so very correctly added here. So when I talk of milk and tea and coffee, they need milk. And when we talk of normal breakfast, milk is very important for all our kids. The only thing needs to be thought about here is that where is the milk coming from and how is so much population of a country, how are we catering to that population? We need to think about it and maybe research about it, right? So, echo. So, just a second, it's echoing. Yeah. So can we replace tea and coffee with maybe water, with maybe coconut water, or maybe anything which is more healthy, or maybe nimbu pani, right? Can we do that? We can do that, right? So this is what it's vegetable juices are very healthy. So we've given an example of maybe a version of petha juice. So you must have seen pete ki mithai बनती है, तो pete का juice भी बनता है. So we can, so that really helps cleanse our tummies and our digestive system. So I'll move on from here. So always eating after elimination, that is very important in the mornings. So how many of us quickly grab our food, get ready in the morning and rush to school without feeling fresh? Most of us do that. Do we? Do we not? So what is happening here is we've not eliminated what we've already eaten the previous day or the previous day, and we continue putting in more food, which puts a lot of pressure on our digestive system and our health in
I
totality.
think I like this image because even the elimination has to be a happy and convenient and comfortable process.
Yes. So moving on from here, what do you see here, all of you? What do you see here? Quickly write in the chat boxes. Do you identify?
So my question is, who all have one of these kind of breakfasts
So
in the morning?
I'm sure all of us do have. This looks very healthy and filling. भूख नहीं लगती खा के अच्छे से. पेट भर के खाते हैं तो, right? Yes. So, we must have heard of this notion of having breakfast like a king. हमने ये सुना होगा कभी तो, सुना है ना?
I would like to add here. Now, parathas and dahi in the morning is like a staple diet for me, right from the childhood.
Yeah.
It's only recently we have changed, and I'll tell you the reason why. In Punjab, there are a lot of parathas and dahi because all the farmers.
Even
Makhan, because all the farmers used to work for entire day
Very hard.
in farms.
Very hard.
They really wanted good energy and really food rich, nutrient rich diet so that they can work physically for entire day.
Yeah.
Whereas now the lifestyle has changed. Now the lifestyle is more sitting, studying, like for students, working on screens and laptops for adults. Over to you, Nidhi.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with the breakfast that we see here, right? But there's only one thing कि आजकल हमारा लाइफस्टाइल जो है बिल्कुल चेंज हो चुका है. हम लोग, जैसे सर ने बोला, हम लोग लैपटॉप के आगे बैठते हैं, हमारी क्लासेस लैपटॉप के आगे लगती हैं, फिर हम स्कूल से आके वी वांट टू वॉच टीवी. Maybe right now you people are young and you kind of indulge into a little bit of play, but as you grow old, it becomes totally sedentary. You're sitting and doing things. You're sitting and studying. You're sitting and doing everything. From one seat, you move on to the next seat, right? So when you're going to school, you're sitting on a school bus seat. When you come back, when in the class, you're sitting. But yes, as children, we do have some play activities and physical activities, which is good. So people can still digest. But if you start your morning, आप पूरी रात आपका जब पेट खाली रहता है, you start your morning with a heavy food that also puts a little bit of, what do you say, pressure on your stomach to digest so much, and you will feel lazy. कभी किसी का सुना है छोले भटूरे खा के कोई मैच खेलने गया हो? सुना है कोई विराट कोहली या कोई?
I think actually the best example is Virat Kohli. From coming from a North Indian Punjabi family,
Right.
And he transformed his fitness and into a very healthy diet. And he mentions that in most of his interviews that how diet has played an important role in enhancing his performance and health.
So I would like to like all of you to quickly go through this, how cooking kills our food. So अगर हम बात करें हमारे healthy खाने की, तो जब हम उसे पकाते हैं तो क्या होता है कि उसके न्यूट्रिएंट्स खत्म हो जाते हैं. और मोस्टली हमारी इंडियन वे ऑफ कुकिंग इज वेरी सच वे वेयर वी आर किलिंग द न्यूट्रिएंट्स ऑफ द फूड. So it says, kill neither men nor beasts nor yet food which goes into your mouth. For if you eat living food, the same will quicken you. But if you kill your food, the dead food will kill you also. For life comes only from life, and from death comes always death. For everything which kills your food kills your bodies also. And everything which kills your bodies kills your souls also. And your bodies become what your food are. Therefore, eat not anything which fire, frost, and water has destroyed. For burnt, frozen, or rotted foods will burn, freeze, and rot your body as well. So do we understand? I'll just move on to the next slide now. So we are coming to the point of eating sun-cooked food. So do we agree the fruits and vegetables that we are eating are not uncooked? They are sun-cooked. Do we agree? They have been cooked by the sun. Right? They're not going to give us a stomachache. They're not going to give us an infection. Right? So in the morning, when we have so why is it called a breakfast? Because after 8 to 10 hours of fasting or sleeping or not eating anything, we are going to eat the first meal of the day. And that has to be rich in nutrients, right? It has to not be killed by cooking. So the first thing in the morning could be eating fresh fruits for breakfast, right? And when you eat, you don't have to eat one banana and feel that you're going to be full. You can at least eat a bowl full of fruits and say that now I am full. Now I can go and like really feel energetic and, active in my mind, to, go and attend my school.
I think even the juices, like I'm sure some of you, maybe having juices in the morning.
Yeah. So eating sun-cooked, not uncooked, right? So moving on from here. So when we eat fruits, there is one thing. So our stomach secretes different kind of juices to digest different kind of fruits. So if I'm eating an apple, I may want to pair it up with a pear, Nashpati. We have a team Nashpati here. I may want to pair it up with a similar family of fruits. If I may eat melons, I may only pair it up with melons. So it is easier for my stomach to digest. That is one theory, right? And if I'm having pulpy fruits, for example, banana, can someone give me an example of a fruit that can be paired with banana? A pulpy fruit? Just a second.
So it's written mango. A lot of us have written mango.
And what else?
Orange, apple.
Apple is not the family of banana, as in the kind of fruit. So apple is going to be very crisp and maybe a little tangy and juicy. But mango and bananas are not crisp and juicy, right? So papaya can be, yes, very good. Team Nashpati, papaya is definitely a pairing with so we have, then we have citrus fruits. So citrus fruits में क्या आता है? Citrus fruits में oranges आते हैं, नारंगी आती है, मौसमी आती है, कीनू आता है. Then we have pineapple, right? So we have to look into these options. What can be paired with what? So it will be easier for my stomach to digest. So I can have a bowl of melons maybe one day and maybe pears and apples the other day, right? So that is going to be easier. It'll help me in digestion easily. Yeah. So if you can see the difference in the image, you are what you eat. So this is exactly what becomes of our body when we change, right? Who wants a left body and who wants a right body? Who wants a left body? Who wants a right body? Right body. Sure, you will miss all your cravings, your hot dogs and your burgers and pizzas. You will miss them? Okay, so moving on from here. So yeah, since we are talking of health and digestion and gut and stomach and everything, we need to understand that only through fresh food, fruit, vegetables, we get a lot of fiber. So we have fiber only in plant-based food. Fiber is not found in animal food, animal-based diet. Fiber is only found in plant-based food, right? Which helps in digestion. So it is very important to have your salads, your cucumber, your tomatoes, your carrots, and whatever you can eat as fiber, a lot of fruits, right? So benefits of high fiber food, quickly note down. So we hear so many diseases, diabetes, cancer, skin, so many things, become overweight. So fiber-rich food can help you in all of this, right? So fiber is roughage, very commonly called as roughage. Where do you find it? In your plant-based diet. So who can quickly remind me of the 4 food laws that we just discussed? Quickly. 4 food laws that we discussed for the 21st century. The kind of peasant lifestyle that we are living, sedentary lifestyle.
So everyone is writing living food, wholesome.
Yes.
And one has written, Team Khajur has written
plant-based, yes, and water-rich. So I'll repeat it for you. Yes. So I will repeat the 4 food laws and everything comes under that. Just a second. Please go through it. I'll give you a moment to write down.
So most of them have written correct.
Yeah.
They've written.
I would want you to draw a connection here. हमने पिछले वर्कशॉप में समझा कि हम अपने एनवायरनमेंट को कैसे हार्म कर रहे हैं और किसी भी एक फूड आइटम का हमने लाइफ साइकिल अंडरस्टैंड किया, ठीक है? फिर हमने समझा कि उसको जब हम प्रोसेस कर देते हैं, हम उसकी पाए बना देते हैं, उसका जैम बना देते हैं, क्या उसके न्यूट्रिएंट्स इंटैक्ट रहते हैं? हाँ, once in a while it's okay to enjoy or relish or like really savor something like that, but on a regular basis if we do that, are we getting nutrition rich food? We are not, right? If the food is processed, it's important to understand, अगर हम सब ऐसा खाना खाना शुरू कर देंगे तो क्या हम इतने सारे रैपर्स, इतना सारा प्लास्टिक, इतनी सारी पैकेजिंग, क्या इतनी सारी जो गार्बेज डंप का हमने इतना बड़ा माउंट एवरेस्ट देखा था पिछली वर्कशॉप में, विल वी कंट्रीब्यूट इन रिड्यूसिंग दैट? कैन वी कंट्रीब्यूट इन रिड्यूसिंग दैट? कैन वी बाय making our own bodies inside healthy, can we make the outside world healthy? We can.
So the next question is, so what do we do with the waste that we have from
Kitchen.
from these
Organic
kitchen.
waste that is produced in the kitchen?
So how can we use that productively? Waste that we have from our kitchen. Manure, correctly this. Right. Please continue. So all of you have written about organic
Yes.
manure,
Composting. Perfect.
Yes.
So you guys know what needs to be done, na? So now write in the chat box who all are really doing it. Have you thought of doing it, or is someone already doing it, or someone's parents are already doing it?
If your family, if you create manure.
Yes, your mother is doing it. Okay, great. So this is very encouraging to see. Very encouraging. So from now on, be very careful that your organic waste should not be mixed with the cooked waste. क्योंकि पका हुआ खाना भी जो waste होता है, that should not be mixed with that. And I'm going to give you an activity based on it. So moving forward, when we talk of milk, so sir ने milk का बड़ा important point raise किया था, that how normally milk is considered very important. So if you see all these images here, it's all about sitting and doing activities in front of the TV or sitting on the sofa or reading, and everything is being done sitting, right? Of course, you people are growing up and you need something like milk, which is very healthy and very strong, but milk is a diet in itself. So consuming one glass of milk doesn't need something else to be consumed with it. It is a full meal in itself.
I think the best example is that, so where did this milk come from? The milk comes from a cow. For whom? Right?
Yeah,
so
you can answer this question. Milk comes from the cow, but why is the milk produced? For whom is it produced?
For whom? The cow produces milk for whom?
Yes, for the cow. For its own baby.
Now this cow is, the calves are going to grow to become
A full big cow.
Yes. So the bones of these animals are very strong, right? They need that milk from their mother cow.
Even the growing children need milk, but it's important to know the source of the milk, right? So just for your for food for thought, where is the milk that you drink coming from, right? We need to be aware of it. Okay? So this is the sedentary life that we have, and still we are consuming the kind of food our parents, our grandparents, and great grandparents used to have. Right?
Also, I think now the milk is actually coming from industry. It's not coming directly from farm.
Sunday.
So having a meal, a full glass of milk, or that kind of a protein-rich diet, please request to please keep. Can everyone mute themselves, please? It is causing disturbance. Yeah. So So it is very important to understand why we need a protein-rich diet. Is our lifestyle really like that? Are we growing up? Of course, you all are growing up. Are we athletes? So in the same case, even if we are drinking milk, if the source of milk is a milk that is coming from a processed way of making milk reach your homes, then can you replace it with something Yes, you can. Right? You can see this. You can ask me questions about it later. Can milk or animal fat, butter can be replaced with something healthier and give us equal nutrition? Yes, it can. So how many of us love cream, cheese, malai? So this is what it can replace. You can replace it with. You know, when we talk of cheese, it can be replaced with a nut-based cheese, which is a plant-based diet we're talking about, which will also be more energetic, more healthy in today's times, not processed. If you talk about milk-based chas, it can be replaced with this. We'll get into it. Ice creams nowadays are made with plant-based ice cream. It could be made with almond milk or coconut milk or whatever, right? So today's presentation is over. Today's workshop is over, but I think we can recap a little bit about the past assignment briefly for 5 minutes.
The past one we have seen. I think if they have any questions before we share the assignment.
So you can ask your questions.
Right. Yes. One of the teams is raising their hand. Please go ahead, unmute yourself. Yes, team. Yes.
Who's asking? Which team is asking?
Kindly unmute yourself and share your question with us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please ask. Yes.
Sir, in the last session, a documentary named as Home, and it was the one that you, of course, recommended us to watch. And
Yes, please continue. We can hear you.
I think we've lost the connection. Anji.
yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, I would love if you could just send the link and maybe I would watch that.
You don't have the link of the documentary? Okay.
So we'll just ask we'll ask the coordinators to share the link. That the presentation was shared and we'll make sure that it reaches all of you.
Yeah, that reminds me that I had another small video to show you and I just completely forgot. So I'm going to play that video before we take any more questions. So just be very attentive while watching this.
So we'll take your questions after this video.
Share screen again.
Yes, you have to share your screen.
Where? Help me.
Hippocrates Health Institutes known worldwide.
Can you hear the video, all of you? Can you hear? Right, great.
Favorite things that heal.
To no one?
Right. I think it's not audible to them. That's what.
Can you play that?
Right. Just give me a minute.
Just a second, we'll play it again.
Could you share the activity? Meanwhile, I just open the.
Yeah.
People here.
Well, I think the main
Just a second.
thing is what you're feeling.
Stop sharing. So I can share the activity in the meantime, and after that we'll give you the presentation. Just a second. I'll just share the activity. We'll just share the activity. Can you see the screen, all of you? Can you see the screen? So all of you will need to share your previous work with us
On
email or the link provided to you by the coordinators. And so this assignment you can take a note of, and you'll also receive this PDF of today's presentation, and you'll also receive the link of today's video that you'll be watching. So what you need to do, Pankaj sir is going to tell you.
Right. So this is very interesting or based on what we understood today. So all of you are going to utilize the name of the team, whether it's a fruit or a vegetable, right? And you have to create your own recipe. It could be a very simple recipe as well, as we have shared the concept of sun-cooked food.
Also the 4 food principles.
Yes. So all of you have understood the 4 food principles. So based on that, and it would not require any cooking. And so you have to capture the entire process of this one recipe that you're going to create with the assigned team name of a fruit or a vegetable, right? The process can be captured through pictures, or you can even capture through a video, right?
I would like to add here that any recipe that you're going to get into, so you all are teams, right? So everyone can figure out their own idea of the recipe, try it in their own homes, make their family taste it, so that you know whether it is good or not, right? And all of you can discuss among yourselves कि मैंने इस तरीके से बनाया था या मैंने इस तरीके से बनाया था, and then come up with the best possible recipe that you create as a team, right? So because it's a team task, okay, you can brainstorm, you can bring talk about ingredients. It has to be an original recipe. It can't be something that you saw on net. You can definitely see if you wish to figure out.
You can use any resources.
Yeah.
You can use any resources. You can even ask your parents to support you.
Teachers, yeah.
Right? Anyone. So you do have access to every resource available to you, whether online, physical. So you are free to do that. But yes, it has to be a ready recipe that people can enjoy. So you will be serving this to your family, right? And you will also be having this. It could be manageable quantity. So do not really shoot up the expectations. So within your own expectation, try something nice and create, and just capture the entire process through pictures or videos.
Yeah.
Now the next stage is basically on the next workshop that is we are having tomorrow. So you have to have these small cards. It should be the cards. So it should be a little thick paper. So you can buy sheets from the market which are thicker than your normal paper.
So you know playing cards, जब हम playing cards खेलते हैं तो उसकी thickness क्या होती है? Something like that.
Right. So now you have to cut those sheets into 2.5 into 4 inches. So we have shown that size here on the right side. Now this is how you're going to create these cards. And the recipe that you have created, you're going to now explain that recipe by drawing, by painting, by coloring on these cards.
In stages, different level stages.
This is a physical activity, right? So nothing digital about it. But I think the captured process in pictures or videos will really help you. So which means that the first stage would be about ingredients, right? So you will make these colorful ingredients and you'll write about them. Second would be how did you create the recipe? So first is chopping, right? Mixing, adding salt or adding something else. So all that you will describe in these stages, and the final card would be the ready recipe. The second last, and the last one would be your family enjoying it.
So I would like to add something here. So for example, we have Team Khajur. Okay, so Team Khajur, if in the previous activity they took Khajur as dates as one of the fruit and shown the life cycle of a khajur and how from harvesting to reaching the market and reaching the houses. For example, हमने वो एक life cycle लिया, तो we can use khajur as the main ingredient of the recipe. It will be easier for you to choose that way. For example, अगर आपने previous अपनी assignment में जो हमने पिछले workshop में दी थी,
Right.
उसमें आपने जो fruit vegetable name based on maybe
It has to be same.
your team name, yes.
Yes, it has to be the same fruit that you have taken.
So you
for the previous
can,
assignment.
that recipe has to have khajur in it. You understanding?
Yes.
It has to have that one ingredient in it. Okay? So it can be the main master ingredient of your recipe, So think about it. So nothing processed has to be used in the recipe. For example, date itself, khajur itself is so sweet, you don't need sugar in it. Right?
There's a famous muhavra, no, on khajur ka ped. What is that? Do you remember?
So I will definitely share it with you. So this is the exercise. Any doubts with the exercise? Any doubts with the activity? All of you. Any doubts? Please write it in the chat box. Any doubt? Every member of the team. Any doubt? Anyone else? I mean.
So all of you are asking for me to share the instructions. So I'm writing in the chat for all of you. So here
it is important for you to take the same fruit or vegetable as your team because that will make things easier for you. And in case if they don't have the
right, in that case they can select.
So in case if you don't have that fruit or vegetable in local market, then you can kind of think of something else.
Yes, we give that freedom to you.
So we understand that everything will not be available locally.
Right, and for everyone, because few of you were asking for the activity, I have shared it in the chat for all of you. I also shared the links to the previous the videos that we looked at, right? And I've shared those links as well. I'll share them again. Right, and this will also ask the coordinator to share the videos from previous webinar and from today's
last video. And then
so now let's look at the video. So just unmute.
Unmute
myself. You have to mute your all.
All right, I'll try this once more. I'll try this once more. Just give me a minute. It should be audible now.
So what is important for you to understand this Hippocrates Health Institute?
Okay, is it audible now? Is it audible now, students?
Hippocrates Health Institute.
All right, so let's go through this, very important.
Hippocrates Health Institute is known worldwide for their whole body approach to wellness. Guests from all over the world benefit from health and nutritional counseling, youth-enhancing therapies, state-of-the-art spa services, inspiring talks on life principles, and a tantalizing daily buffet of enzyme-rich organic meals. It's all based on a vegan lifestyle. I had the opportunity to sit down with Brian and Anna Maria Clement, who have jointly directed Hippocrates Health Institute since 1980. You have an amazing, remarkable center for healing people. Can you tell me what are some of your favorite things that heal people here?
Well, I think the main thing is what you're feeling. We have an atmosphere of acceptance and love. And we have every guest see our gifted psychotherapist, not to do Freudian and Jungian psychology, but to see what it is blocking them from hurting themselves.
At Hippocrates, they teach you about raw, organic living foods as a way of achieving optimal health. You both are vegan.
48 years each.
Yeah.
Anna started as a very young lady in her teens. I started at 19, 20. Our 4 children and our 7 grandchildren are vegan. People are realizing that not only does it heal your body and prevent aging, but it also saves the planet Earth that we all live on.
It's an amazing way to live. We're here at the lunch buffet today at Hippocrates, and I want you to tell me about the sprouts.
So the sprouts, the most important thing, at least 50% of your plate should be sprouts, truly living foods. You see we have, what, about 6 feet? 18 different types of sprouts.
18 different kinds of sprouts here.
We have the most sprouts anywhere in the world on one buffet. You know, Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine. Food can either be great nourishing and helping your body heal, or it can be a challenge. When some things are a challenge for your body, which many of us overcome, some things are going to help your body be clean, run pure. And so which way are you going? So people come here and stop putting toxins in and get in an environment of doing pure food, and their immune can take over and clear out so many health challenges. People come back and say, I healed of cancer, I healed of diabetes. It's amazing.
To keep up with the nutritional standards and the high demand for organic sprouts, Hippocrates grows their crops on site. I'm here with Parker. Parker, I hear you're the king of the greens here.
I am. We've got quite a selection here of sunflower, wheat, as well as pea shoots and buckwheat.
And these are all sprouts.
These are all sprouts. We have roughly 650 trays growing right now, which we will reseed and harvest 30 of each variety per day.
My little bit I know about sprouting, you really have to take care of the sprouts so they don't get moldy.
Absolutely, which we have climate control, temperature control, humidity control environment here.
The air is incredibly fresh in here.
Yes, it's about 3 times cleaner, I'm sure, than what's outside, as well as cooler, as you can feel. We like to keep the temperature in here 65 to 75 degrees. And because it's enclosed, we don't have any problem with bugs.
And you don't only do the sprouting, but you also do the fruit trees.
Yes, as well as the Garden of Vegan. The Garden of Vegan is a lovely little spot with butterflies, hummingbirds. We do grow crops out there as well, in-ground crops. And then I do a once-a-week lecture out there on how to grow your own living food.
The guests take advantage of their daily doses of wheatgrass at the self-serve juice bar, where it is juiced to provide the body with concentrated amounts of nutrients.
Always get compliments from all the guests of how sweet our wheatgrass is here.
That's a great compliment for wheatgrass.
Yes, it is, truly.
The Hippocrates Institute also has a weight loss program targeting the root cause, whether it's emotional, physical, or nutritional.
What's at the core of the overweight? About 80%.
Right. I think I'm going to share the link with all of you. So do watch. do watch this. Anything else? Any questions, students?
I wanted to share one thing before you talk, because we are closing our session here today. So Hippocrates Institute is basically working towards healing people only through food. Have you ever heard that? Or we mostly hear कि अगर हम बीमार हैं तो we need to go to the doctor, take medicine, only then we'll get better. But people are getting healed they're healing diseases as serious as cancer by going to Hippocrates Institute, eating only plant-based diet, raw, sun-cooked food, and coming back healthy as ever. Right? So please watch this video, and please send us your past exercises as well on whatever link email is shared by the team with you.
I have shared the email ID with all of you, and you can submit your assignment 1 here, and assignment 2, you will have time before tomorrow's workshop. You have the time with you to submit assignment 2 as well. All right. And do mention in the subject about your team name. Do mention your team name.
Yes.
All right. And the name of team members.
And
right?
And you can also share your doubts if you have any doubts, any questions along with your assignment, right? With your team name. So we are going to address the doubts or clarify answers based on the team name, right? Do watch this video that we have shared with you. So we've stopped it in between because we are running out of time, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Any questions? Any questions before
in
we
the
end?
email. It's already late.
All right.
In the email. Please send it. Please share with us. Thank you so much. And really looking forward for tomorrow and very excited to see what all you do
right
tomorrow. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you to both our panelists. It was a wonderful and enlightening session. As the session comes to its end, I would extend a sincere gratitude to our dedicated panelists for being our pioneer. Thank you, Pankaj sir and Nidhi ma'am. Also, an unfeigned thanks to all patrons for joining this session and making it wonderful. As you all are aware, next workshop is on 25th September, 4 to 5 p.m. on card gameplay. See you all there. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.